Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
What's up, YouTube? My name is Vic, and I am the Brooklyn Watch Guy. If this is your first time on the channel, this channel is all about watch buying, collecting, unboxings, and reviews in the affordable range, which I define as $1,000 or less. If you're into that, I invite you to stick around and watch the video. If you make it to the end, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so you know every time I put a new video up. Folks, I'm sorry that it's been a delay in my last video upload. I've said it many times before on the channel. I have a full-time job, man, and sometimes life just be lifing. So this is a video I wanted to get out before the end of last year. I just couldn't find the time to film it. So I'm going to film it now, better late than never. But I'm going to do my state of the collection for 2025. Now, I'm going to do this video in two parts. Altogether, I picked up 28 watches last year. Now, as you know, last year I got back into watch collecting after a couple years of, not collecting at all and selling off nearly my entire collection. So there were watches that I rebought and re-added, into my collection. So I'm going to do this in two parts. And the first part's going to be re-editions. And then the second part is going to be watches that are totally new to me. So without further delay, let's get into this. My first rebuy was this guy, the Citizen Orca. This is probably one of my most favorite watches, if not my most favorite watch. Definitely a watch that I wore a lot, since I started collecting again. I just love this watch. It's a big watch and it's kind of heavy, but the way it wears on wrist, it's just a really comfortable watch to wear. And the look and design of it, I just love it, man. The quality. When I was into watches before, I never owned a Citizen. I was really a Seiko guy, but now Citizen is becoming my favorite brand over Seiko. I feel crazy saying that, but I feel like they've been putting out better stuff, in that affordable range that Seiko seems to be leaving behind, with some of their latest releases. But this was my first rebuy, of 2025 when I got back into the collecting thing. And I don't regret this one. This is the one that I actually regretted selling, maybe not the most, but close. The watch I'm going to show you guys next is the one that I regretted selling away the most. But this is the Citizen Orca, my first rebuy, and this one will never leave my collection ever again. This was my second rebuy, my beloved Lunar Pilot. I had a hard time finding this specific one at a decent price. I wanted the one with the Velcro strap that had the date of mission on it and all that stuff. And I ended up getting it complete in box and stuff. I did notice that the chrono hand is slightly off, but that doesn't bother me. I can live with that. I'm not using this to time anything, so, I don't care about that. But yeah, I absolutely love this watch. I love the heritage of it. I never actually did a review on this guy. I guess it's because there's so many of them out there. Maybe I'll talk about it though at some point, because I do like, doing like learning content, learning videos and stuff. So, and there's a lot of history behind this watch. So Lunar Pilot, I think because of this watch, it scratches that itch to want to own an Omega Speedmaster. And I know before people get in the comments and stuff and trash me, I know quality wise it's night and day, but this isn't a bad watch either. It's something that I'm proud to own, and I'm not afraid to show it off, if I'm around some watch snobs. So it's the Lunar Pilot. Another watch that I really regretted selling away when I did was the Steel Dive 1970. All right, this is a beautiful watch, really good quality. I would love to have an actual Seiko Captain Willard. It's just too much money for me. This is a budget watch channel, and look, I'm always gonna save money if I can save money. This has a Seiko movement inside it anyway. Cushion case. The look is there, and really, when it comes down to it, for most of us that are not deep watch snobs, not deep, into collecting like that, what is it that you go for most of the time? I think for me, it's the appeal, it's the look. Now, that's not to say that I'll buy a fake Rolex because of the look. I will never do that. I will never support things like that. But this isn't a fake. I don't see these as fakes. This is its own thing. Uh, the movements are there, quality movements, quality parts. The watch itself is still a great watch. One thing that I did notice though with this one from the original one that I bought a few years back, the straps that come with it now, man, they're trash. They're really thick and uncomfortable. So I put this NATO on it. I haven't worn it as much, as I thought I would. I still enjoy it. I just, I need to give this guy a little more wrist time in 2025. That's for sure. My Invicta 1953. This is a good watch. I sold it off because I wasn't really wearing it that much at the time when I did. But then, when I got back into collecting, I wanted to have it. I'm never gonna own a Rolex Submariner. That's just, that's just way out of my price range. And I think this scratches the itch for me. It probably scratches the itch for a lot of people. I'm just a regular dude. I'm just, I'm not rich, and I'm not going to spend $10,000 on a watch and whatever it costs to get secondhand. The Submariner it's not a cheap watch to get either way. It's also not a very easy watch to get. So, happy to have this one back in the collection. I don't know. I'll hold on to it for a while. Who knows? We'll see what happens. My Casio A700. Get that piece of hair out. I wanted this one again just because I wear it at work a lot. Not a lot, but I wear it at work often. And it's just so small, it's so compact and so light that it's really, really comfortable to wear. So that's why I enjoy this one. I knew I wanted to get this one back again. And yeah, happy to have it back. So the Casio A700 makes a return. Probably going to stick around for a while. My System 51. Now, I didn't own this color originally. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I had the all black one. But red is my favorite color. And this guy just popped up one day on an eBay search. It was, shoot, I want to say less than $100. Less than $100 for one of these. That's a great price. This is probably the only System 51 I'll ever own, just because the nature of them. I think I stated that when I did the Blancpain swatch video. I actually love those things. I like the look of them. But because it uses a System 51 movement, I'll probably never own one because it's just not a movement that's meant to last. Now, granted, I don't wear this every day. I don't even remember the last time I did wear it. It was probably a few months now. This is going to last me a hell of a lot longer than the projected 10-year lifespan that Swatch says is going to last. But it's just the those factors about it that you can't regulate it and stuff. That's why I'm not I like them, but I'm not thrilled about them. It's just I wanted it for the novelty of it, and it's my favorite color. But I think one of these is enough for my collection, and yeah, I think this one's going to stick around this time. I don't see myself letting go of it. Gotta have one of these. Now I had one of these before in my collection, and I sold it off in a lot. I don't know why I did that either. The Databank is such a great watch. It's so comfortable to wear compared to my father's original calculator Databank watch. So when I knew I didn't always want to wear a G-Shock at work, and so I wanted something a little smaller, but still, some functionality other than just telling time. And this guy works. Um, it's just a watch that I'm always, gonna have. I'm always gonna be compelled to have that. I grew up in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, and I remember when calculator watches were all the rave. It was a big deal when these things came out. And this is just an updated version. So happy to have this one back, and probably will be in the collection long term. Addie's Dive. Now, this watch, I truly like it. I'm just not a fan of the bracelet, so I don't wear it as often. And I've been meaning to pick up a leather strap for it. I just haven't gotten around to it. I will at some point though. Still, this is a great watch. AliExpress, you get a lot for your money there. You know, if you search around and you wait. So yeah, happy to have this guy back too. Um, you know, so far I don't have the sell it off itch. So this guy will stay around. And my Seagull 1963. Third time I own this watch, and the last time, hopefully, that I buy this watch. This is one that I'll never let go of. I just love the look of it. It's a great movement, the really good quality. The strap is probably the weakest part about it for me, and eventually I'll replace that. But yeah, I just truly love this watch. I love the look of it. I actually just wore it yesterday, so it's still running. But yeah, the Seagull 1963. Hoping to get a Panda version of this, you know, in 2026. So I do have some watch goals in 2026. I'm going to discuss that in the next video, though. I'm not going to get too deep into it on this one. So let me give you guys my closing and final thoughts. All right, folks. So that's part one of my status state of the collection video for 2025. Like I said, these are just watches that I used to own before I, you know, sold everything off that I knew I wanted to own again. So what I got here, 8, 9 watches. I think that was it as far as like what I wanted to rebuy. I can't think of anything else that I sold off. The only watch that I sold off that I would like to own again is the Glycine Airman World Timer. But that watch, man, I messed up when I sold that thing off, because now that's a really expensive watch to come around. I've only found the one that I, you know, used to own only a handful of times on Chrono 24. eBay, not that specific one. They just, man, they're up there. And look, their Glycines are great watches, and I'm probably gonna, you know, bite the bullet and pull the trigger and pay the money for it, but not yet. That's probably the only watch that I would say that I sold off before, that I didn't buy again, but that I want to, you know, probably the most. Um, that's really it. So this is part one, my state of the collection for 2025. I said part two will follow. Part two will be all the new pickups that I made. Like I said, I bought 28 watches in 2025, and I'm not going to include anything that I included in my video when, you know, I told you guys I was going to start collecting again. So all those watches will not be in it. So it's going to be entirely new pickups. And when I say I bought 28 new watches, it's really 28 watches that I bought. I didn't sell anything, so I think that's a first for me. I've never bought watches and didn't sell anything in a year, in a calendar year, I should say. So that's a first. 2026, that's probably going to change, because there's some things that I'm looking at letting go, planning to pick up and make space for. I want to limit the size of my collection. I don't want it to grow to a ridiculous number full of junk. So I think this year I'm not going to say I'm going to avoid AliExpress completely, because I do want a San Martin. I just do. They look cool. The quality looks like it's there. So I think at some point I will pick up a San Martin this year. But I want my watch collecting journey to be a little more focused this year. So there are a couple micro brands that I've had my eye on that I'm very likely going to get into, and you guys are going to see video here soon, because one of them is New York City based, so that should give you a hint at which micro brand I'm talking about. May also pull the trigger on a luxury watch this year, and I know this is a budget watch channel, and I always say I save money where I can, but you know, we only live one life, guys. What is the point of working hard and you don't get to enjoy the fruits of your labor? So that's where my mindset is now. And yeah, I'm gonna start, you know, living a little, enjoying life a little, and not being so afraid to splurge on things that I want. Now, I know it's a little hard right now these days. I will say that tariffs have definitely changed my strategy when it comes to buying watches. Pretty much, I had a bunch of Kickstarter backings and pre-orders and stuff made, when these watches were overseas watches, -1, and I had to cancel a lot of them. And it sucks, man, because you want these things, but at the same time, I'm not trying to get hit, with a 50%, bill of the cost of what I'm importing. That happened to me with the Triwa. The import fee when I got that bill was almost half the price of the watch. That's ridiculous. I don't know how DHL calculates this thing, but it felt like strong arm robbery, honestly. So that has really affected my strategy for buying watches. I will say I'm also a video game collector and I do like to import games from Japan. eBay is a good place. You just have to read the listing. A lot of eBay listings, when you buy, it'll tell you the fees already included and stuff. So that's great. I know brands have also stated that they're including the import fees in the sale price. Vario's doing that, and Triwa, as a matter of fact, maybe 2 weeks after I bought the one that I did, sent me an email saying that they're now including import fees on the purchase price, or that they were covering the import fees. So I was a little pissed off about that. Like, God damn it, I should have just waited. But you know what? You live and you learn. So guys, I don't want to ramble too much. Part 2 coming soon. Until then, I'll see you on that one. Peace. Hey, YouTube, it's Vic, the Brooklyn Watch Guy. Got any questions or suggestions for content? Well, scan this QR code, send me an email. Maybe you see your idea come up, or I'll answer your question on a video. Thank you for watching.